All right, class, we are going to continue reviewing some of the trickier words that were on our quiz on Monday. So go ahead and take out a sheet of paper. We're going to fold it in half again, vertically. So it looks like this, and then go ahead and open it up. What we're going to put at the top, though, today is a little different. We're not going to be separating out our parts of speech. On this one, over here, I'm going to put a blank. That stands for a letter or a phonogram. And then on top of it, I'm going to put a thinking cap. Over on this side, I'm going to put a blank. Actually, let's see. I'm going to do a double underline and then a syllable break. All right, class, so this is a little different. We're going to work on our two-way words. I know that the two-way words are the trickiest because we really have to remember, we have to get used to thinking about the word differently than we usually think about it. We have to remember how we say it to spell it. And there's two main differences that we have in our two-way words. So one is that we have a thinking cap where we have a phonogram not making one of its usual sounds. The other thing we'll have is a silent letter. The reason I have a silent letter and then a syllable break here is because we have a pattern in our words where we have three two-way words that all have a silent letter in the first syllable. All right. And they're all two-syllable words. So let's go ahead and start with an example of this. Our word is follow. All right, now if we just spell it the way it sounds, it won't be correct. So tell me how we say follow to spell it. Good, we say fall low. Fall low. All right, what's our first syllable in fall low, class? Good, fall. And the second syllable? Good, our second syllable is low. You need to remember which O we're going to use though, class. If you remember, tell me. All right, I hope you said ow-o. If you're not sure what ow-o is, go ahead and write it somewhere up at the top or the bottom, and then I'll write it so you can check it. All right, class, what phonogram did you just write? Good, ow-o. So I'll go ahead and write it over here for you. Okay, all right, now we know that. So what's our first syllable in fall low? Good, fall. And the second one? Good, low. Go ahead and write it. Say the sounds while you're writing it. All right. So one more time, what's our first syllable, class? Good, fall. O. And the second one? Good, low. O. Okay. Now, if we're marking it, what's the first thing that I would mark? Okay, maybe I should have told you first because we haven't done this too much. So when we're talking, we say fa low. To spell it, we say fall low. All right, so this we do not hear in follow. It's silent. Class, why is that there? Do you remember? Because it's there for a reason. It's there to close our first syllable, and that keeps the vowel from saying its name. Okay, so we double underline the first one. That's the one that's there to close the syllable, and that's silent. And then, of course, the other thing we need to mark is this. All right, so class, we see a pattern. We have several words in our spelling list from the past 2 weeks where we have, it's a two-way word, and it's two ways because we pronounce the doubled consonant in both syllables, even though we only hear it in one. So one more time, can you tell me how we say follow to spell it? Good, we have an O in the first one that we don't hear, so fall low is how we say it to spell it. All right. Now let's switch over to our other kind of two-way word. So this is where something isn't making its normal sound, which is what our thinking cap means. All right, so the word is whole, class, but remember that's a homophone. So we need to hear it in a sentence if it's a homophone. That is whole as in entire, as in I ate the whole cookie and then my stomach hurt. Whole. So that one is a two-way word. If you remember how we say that to spell it, class, tell me. All right, good. We say whole to spell it. All right, so that our first phonogram then is wh. Even though we hear we have to say whole. And if you're not, go ahead and write wh over here or at the bottom, wherever you were before, so you can check and make sure you have that correct. All right, class, what phonogram did you just write? Good. All right, this is our. All right, so this is what we use at the beginning, and that's why we say whole to spell it. So go ahead and write whole. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, class, in the word whole, how did we make our o say o? Good, silent final E, job 1. This, everything would get a mark because we've got a silent final E, job 1, and a 2-letter phonogram. What's going to get our thinking cap? Listen, whole, whole. Good, it's our because we say it like it's but we have to remember whole, or else we're going to spell the other kind of whole, like the one in the ground. All right, class, our next word is forest. How do we say forest to spell it? Good, we say forest. What's our first syllable? Oh, and so it's going to go on this side because if we listen forest, forest, oh, something's saying not its usual sound. All right, what's our first syllable? Good, for. And the second one? Good, est. All right, go ahead and write and mark forest. Or write it, say the sounds while you write it. See if you can do all the markings by yourself. All right, class, what's our first syllable? Good, for. And our second syllable? Good, est. And then listen, forest, forest. What's going to get that thinking cap, class? Good, it's going to be this guy right here, forest. All right, our next word is think. That one is also a two-way word. Think, to spell think, what do we say? All right, that one's funny. We say think, think. So think, think. All right, it's going to go over here. So after we remember how we spell it, how we say it to spell it, the only thing we need to remember is which k to use. Class, which k do we use? All right, this one we use line letter k. All right, we know we can't use 2-letter k because that's used only after a single vowel saying its first sound. And the sound before k in think is n, and that's not a vowel. All right, so we know it's usually line letter k at the end of a word. We know it can't be 2-letter k, so it is line letter k. Go ahead and write think. Say the sounds while you write them. All right. N, k. All right, but class, it's in our thinking cap side. Listen, think, 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 think. All right, what's going to get that thinking cap? I hope you said Remember, occasionally we have this, but it's making more of the sound. All right, so we have to remember think to spell it. All right, we'll do some more two-way words in our next video class.